Now, if you've suddenly turned over and you're not watching Spain versus the Netherlands, it's still 0-0. Hi there, my name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People to People in Australia and the UK and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And this is P2P Live on a Friday afternoon at 12:30, where we talk all things jobs and employment throughout Australia. We're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube and Twitter. If you have any comments at all, then please make sure you pop them below and we can respond to them in real time. We've got a lot to talk about, basically. The NAB business survey came out this week and had some really interesting numbers on wage price growth. So we'll take a look at those. We've also got some hot jobs here in Australia. We've also got a job in New Zealand. And if you're considering a working holiday in the UK, we've also got an opportunity in the UK. And we're going to talk to Kalissa from our Sydney team about this topic, which is really playing out now. It's sort of workplace conflict between hiring managers and their staff about workplace flexibility. So we'll explore that issue. It's a very hot topic at the moment later as well. So much to talk about. Let's jump into it with this week's Stat of the Week. So this week's employment stat of the week is the July wage rise, or the labour cost growth that the NAB business survey pops out every month, and you will be able to see or get a link to the full report in the comments there if you'd like to explore more. But basically, what we're looking at here is we can see that seasonally adjusted labour cost grew by 1.2% for businesses in the last month, but seasonally adjusted, that is. But the original value was 1.8, and you'd think, well, why is there such a difference? And that's mainly because at this time of year, particularly the July number that pops out, is affected by changes to the award and other end of financial year changes. So you would have, most of you would have been aware, and I know that we've spoke about it on P2P Live before, but there were large minimum and award wage increases in July. So there was a large increase that's come through in those numbers. And you can also see there the monthly labour cost growth seasonally adjusted across the different industries. So recreation is the first one. You can see retail, construction, wholesale, and a total value there. So quite interesting. And, it's the thing that I don't have on the screen here for you that did come from the survey, and I'd encourage you to check it out, was that business conditions remain relatively strong, but confidence has declined. So it's basically people think it's worse than it actually is. It's an interesting time. Check out the business survey, but certainly in terms of wage growth, there is a little bit of movement that's happening out there now, and that is this week's Stat of the Week.
Hello, my name is Ri, and this is Mino. Mino is just over 1 year old now. I guess what makes Mino different from any other dog is like his love to humans. So I think that's something that we can actually teach. Dogs is actually really special. Dogs is like best friend of humans. So I think like every dog that deserves to be a top dog, to be honest. So maybe it's a chance for people to get in the competition this year and take the crown from Mino. Here you go.
Couple of hot jobs this week. Here's the first one. It's in Victoria. It's a customer service consultant paying $30 an hour. So your responsibilities: processing of orders, data entry, answering incoming calls and email queries, and other admin tasks, you need to speak to Will Hillgrove in our Victorian team based in Melbourne there, 0390 987434, or you can simply hit apply now in the comments and to learn more about that opportunity. Here is the next one, and it is a legal assistant in Perth. Phoebe Priest is our consultant over there who you need to have a chat to. It's a permanent job paying $75,000, and you'll be responsible for supporting partners and the wider team in the corporate and M&A division of this firm. So document production, diary management, general admin. You must have experience with billing and have been a legal assistant previously to get secure this great opportunity over West. If those watching from Perth, I know you call us over here over East. Anyway, so if you need to apply, you can find it in the comments there, or pick up the phone 08 6160 6203 to learn more. That's this week's Hot Jobs in Australia. Okay, we got a job in London here. So maybe you're a working holiday maker, or you're a UK resident heading home. We can get you sorted in London before you get back there. And this is just one of the many opportunities that we're working on. So a sales manager in London paying £31,000 to £40,000. What you'll be responsible for is customer presentations, working with interior designers and architects. That's the business that this is. You will be also seeking new business with the target market and ensuring the showroom is always presentable as well. So must have experience working within an interior design or textile furnishings related field. And have great interpersonal skills. Hannah Scanlon is the consultant that you need to speak to in London. You can drop her an email, hannah.scanlon@peopleto-people.co.uk, or hit apply now in the comments, and you'll be able to find out more about this particular opportunity. Now, I think we've got a video about our job across the ditch with our partner firm, Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. Let's roll the tape on that one, please, Jacob.
We're working with a healthcare company that's looking for some after-hours rostering coordinators to join their team for the next 3 months. Now, this role is one that has a little bit of shift work, so the hours are from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So if you're a bit of an early bird or a night owl, this might be the role for you. It does involve a lot of scheduling and rostering of support workers and care staff across a range of facilities, as well as managing any complaints that come through and coaching coordinators and managers on systems when needed. You will have to put your foot down at times, so if you do have that ability to push back, that would be great as well. And some administration and scheduling experience would be good as well. It is based in the CBD and paying about $28 an hour plus 8% holiday pay. It's a 40 hours a week role and starting as soon as possible. So if you feel like this is the role for you, please get in touch below.
Right, it's a hot topic right at the moment, and it's job seekers versus hiring managers and the emerging trend of conflict over workplace flexibility. So we thought we'd explore this a little bit more with Kalissa New from the Sydney recruitment team here at People to People. Afternoon, Kalissa, how are you today?
Hello, I'm well, thank you, Mark. How are you?
So yes, so this is a hot topic. What's been your experience with your clients regarding this issue?
Yeah, absolutely. You only have to turn on the media to kind of see reports of customers sort of forcing their employees back into the office. So it's definitely a hot topic. But job seekers are ultimately wanting to have the choice for flexible working arrangements. So what we're typically seeing when we're speaking with candidates is really that hybrid model with 2 to 3 days work from home, and sometimes even willing to look for a new role or opportunity if they're not getting it where they currently are or being forced back into the office. So whilst working from home became a necessity through sort of the lockdown and COVID times, those who have got to work from home have now become sort of accustomed to this lifestyle. And it's got to be, I guess, a bit of a conversation on how we're going to get them back into the office.
Yeah. Have you seen much conflict? Have you seen much conflict? I know that I know of a particular company that has only recently asked or brought like a broad sweeping claim to say, right, everyone's back in the office 3 days a week, and it's caused an enormous amount of issues between the management and the staff. Have you seen that?
Yeah, absolutely. And we definitely have, whether it's sort of maybe going more days in the office, or there's even roles we're working on at the moment where it's 5 days in the office and there's no flexibility at all. So a very range of scales there for the roles. I think what's really come is it's put pressure on something that money can't buy, and it's time. And whether that's traveling to and from and the flexible arrangements that they've got there.
What about the resolution of those issues? Have you seen any good examples of how people have resolved, and do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what we want to avoid is a blanket approach of everyone, or this communication of everyone must come in, or communications that aren't one-to-one, or I guess having those meetings where we can mitigate what's best for the job, for the employee, and what's best for the employer, and coming up with a solution that's mutually beneficial. What works for some might not work for others. So some might be happy to come in more than others, but coming up with that consultation and coming up with a plan together is definitely my recommendation moving forward.
Yeah, communication, communicate. That's what it's about. And I can see we've had a couple of comments come through on LinkedIn. Alia says, what's your opinion? See if I can pop that up on the screen, Jacob, if that's okay. So what's your opinion on workplace culture with people working from home, and how that is affected? What's your view on that one?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if we're going to get people back into the office, is that whole team in the office, or are there people still going to be working from home on those days? And how do we create, I guess, this environment of still having, team bonding and being able to leverage those relationships if we are working from home? So there's some great, I guess, incidental chat, or in the kitchen or in the office, and being able to build those relationships when you are coming in.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, look, it's been wonderful chatting to you. It's such a hot topic. If somebody wants to have a chat to you about their own personal circumstances, maybe they are one of those people who are in conflict with their employer and they're looking for a new opportunity. If they wanted to chat to you, or you're a hiring manager maybe and you've lost somebody because of flexible staffing arrangements, how would somebody get in touch with you, Kalissa?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can either call me directly on my line, which is 0282709776, or shoot me through an email, which I believe is on the screen as well. I would love to connect with you.
Fantastic. It's been great chatting with you. Thank you for coming on to P2P Live. Let's move on then and to something that's probably a little bit different, and that's last week's Twitter poll. Let's check out the results. So, as a job seeker in the current market, what is the most common challenge you are facing in 2023? So, is this a surprise? Low salary, 41.2%. Well, we saw some really interesting labour cost numbers, that there are some pay rises out there at the moment. The other challenges, though, that people don't have enough qualifications, or what a surprise, no flexibility options. So, and we had quite a few comments on this one. If you'd like to check it out, hashtag P2P Live Australia on LinkedIn and on Twitter, or should I say X these days? Bloody hell, it's a bit confusing. So hashtag P2P Live Australia. And here's this quick question that you can actually, on X, give your opinion. Would you consider job hopping as a career progression strategy? So would you do that? Well, let's find out what the result is next week. I can see I'm hesitating here because I've had a comment here from Deep Bart. How can we find a job in the UK, Deep? All you need to do is you can get in touch with our office. Just go to people2people.co.uk. The one thing I will say, Deep, though, is that we cannot assist with getting a visa to work in the UK. You need to be able to secure that yourself. If you are an Australian or New Zealand citizen, then there is the youth mobility visa. So if you're aged between 18 to 35, you can work for 3 years in the UK, and all you need to do is apply, and you can get that visa within 3 weeks. So it's definitely a way to explore those opportunities, or just reach out to our consultant. But if you don't have working rights, it's going to be very hard. Righto, that's it, everybody, for P2P Live on this Friday. Good luck to the Matildas on the weekend. And don't forget, if you would have seen the ad for Top Dog, our Oz Top Dog competition. Entries closed this weekend. Make sure you get your dog in for the top dog with a job, top office dog. There's People Choice and the like. Check it all out at people2people.com.au. Otherwise, we'll see you this time next week. See you then.